Good evening everyone and welcome to another Dangerous Monday. Another disorganised as hell Dangerous Monday, since I completely lost track of time and hadn't had anything set up, and then the green screen wouldn't work properly and then everything fell apart. It's just not right. It's just been a bad day so far. Hi Garzini! Your damn green screen! Ah. It's fine, it's not a problem. It's okay. I just don't remember which of my thing is I need to use. To that one? No. To that one? No. To that one? No. I think it's that one actually. Yeah, let's try that one. Oh, so, yeah. Some issues with the green screen today. For some reason the lighting quality in the room has changed slightly. I don't get it at all. I'm hoping, by the way, that the sound quality is slightly different today. I'm doing something a little bit different with the microphone, and I've bought a little bit of kit that I'm hoping is going to cut out some of the background noise, at least in the meantime, because I have a plan. I have a plan for the future. Just let me start up Elite, and I'll tell you all about it. So I'm in my private group as normal this evening. So if you want to drop in and say hi or fly alongside, then you are all more than welcome to do just that. The group name is Selezen Lake, if you didn't get it already. And yeah, so without further ado, shall we get on with stuff? Now, anyone who's kind of looked at who's been following the Twitter stuff today, completely forgot this morning and this afternoon to try and put a post out about what's happening in game tonight.
All systems ready to go.
It has taken me a little bit of time to get things in gear, as it were. Fiery Toad, thank you for the host, my friend. You are a gentleman. So yeah, completely forgot. So the plan today is Legends. Legends, indeed. So I've discovered something today, literally about 20 minutes before I actually put the post out saying what I was going to be doing this evening. I found something out. So I'm quite looking forward to that. I'm not going to say what it is. You probably guess it yourself. I mean, it's not exactly a secret anyway. But yeah, I've actually found out the location that I need to be for this stuff is only 2 jumps away from where I currently am. So I'm quite looking forward to that. And I think most of you will probably, if you are watching this, whether it be on YouTube or on Twitch, you'll probably work out what it is I'm doing as soon as I actually get it done. So, we shall get on with the game. Let me just check that everything's working okay. There's our planet up there. Yep, we're working fine. I'll just tap that back into the thing. Come out of studio mode. And then we're on. We're live. We're sorted. So, Legends. The big news this week has been the discovery of a crash site. So we're going to go and have a look, because it is the era in which I am immersed in this game. So let's hope that everything is functioning. Joystick seems to be okay. Yeah. Let's see if our friendly neighbourhood AIs are actually working. Open galaxy map. Open galaxy map. Okay, he's asleep again. Open galaxy map. Right, let's try something else then. Open galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Close galaxy map.
Closing map.
Open galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Okay, so we are going to HIP 12099. Close galaxy map.
Closing map.
At risk of being punny. Hey caramba! why am I off to one side? Oh, because the stupid joystick's got too much sensitivity on it. Raise landing gear. Raise landing gear. Raise landing gear.
Landing gear up.
Boost.
Afterburners maxing engines.
Engage super cruise.
Engaging cruise.
Now, as you know, I'm in the middle of the road to riches at the minute, so luckily, by complete coincidence on the road to riches, I have actually ended up being a couple of jumps away from the system where we are headed for our discovery today. It's not me that's discovering it, it's been discovered already, because I don't play this game often enough or get into the lore enough to start finding all this cool stuff before everybody else does. But it is quite a good lore one, and I have to say, I'm starting to enjoy the way this INRA narrative is going. I quite like it, and I have to give big kudos to Malik VR, twitch.tv/Malik_VR. If you don't know him already, most of you probably do, because you all kind of fly in the same groups that I do. For sending me the audio files that he's been. My intent at some point is to put all the audio files into a video, so that we have a kind of record of the INRA stuff. And I'm contemplating leaving it until everything's been found, so that all 12 bases have been found. Jump.
Engaging jump.
So yeah, so that I can do them all together in one video. And I'm also planning on having a bit of a trip to each one, and maybe grab a little bit of video footage to go along with the actual narrative. But I don't know. I've got a big bit of footage of one of the bases, which might be. I want to do it some justice, because it has been probably the most revealing bit of lore about the original Elite era that we've had so far, and I think it's really good, and I want to kind of I know it's taken everything away from my particular area of interest, as it were, so that the lore that I know is no longer the lore that I know, and the lore that Elite Dangerous is now becoming famous for is now completely different to what I have always known and understood about the Elite universe. That's not a bad thing. It's bad for me as far as my point of view is concerned and my status as lore master is concerned, but I have no feelings on that, especially as negative feelings on it anyway. Because it's one of those things. It's Frontiers universe. They can do with it as they please. I have no say. I'm just a fan. But as I say, it is taking it in an interesting direction. A lot of places where we had kind of a feeling as fans it was going to go anyway. So it is in keeping with the history of the game and the kind of the feel of what that history is. So I quite like it. But the only negative thing I could say is it needs to evolve a little bit quicker. I know it's down to the players more than anything else, but I think Frontier could push the narrative forward a little bit and provide more information in each drop. We just seem to be dragging along, and it's just the Thargoid thing's dragging along, the INRA thing's dragging along, and I know there's probably a link, there's probably a crux, an apex where they're going to come together at some point. But I just think that we need to get to that point a little quicker. Or, if it is going to drag out for a little bit longer, then put some more stuff in that we can find, put some more stuff into the narrative that we can look for and maybe pick up in public locations, so that we don't have to hunt around like idiots for it all the time. Because it is interesting, it's engaging, there's some personalities coming out that are quite interesting, it's really good. Jump.
Charging frameshift drive.
So it's just one of those things where, yeah, it's moving on, it's great, it's interesting, it's engaging, It's personal as well, which is nice. Just realised my posts are all going the wrong place. It's interesting where it's going. I think the 10 bases that have been found so far, that's right, 10. We've
I
found
can
2 more
scan the
since last
system
streaming.
if you wish.
Scan the system.
Completing system scan. Stand by. Gathering information. Cartography has now been updated.
Yeah, take it to. I can't remember what I was saying then. Honestly, I can't remember what I was saying. I just love the way it's going. Put it that way. I mean, I do enjoy the stories in these games. More stories would be nice. More narratives, like multiple narratives kicking off at the same time would be nice. But we're building up to that kind of thing. I think we've got the Inra and Thargoid things going on at the same time now. That all ties into the engineer stuff. It all ties into power plays to an extent as well. At least the kind of very loose narrative that goes on with that. And it ties into some of the community goals as well, which is an interesting concept. So a lot of the different things are tied together in the Elite universe, which is pretty cool. I just hope that they keep on expanding that concept and Frontier put more people behind that to give it some legs, and it could be amazing. Obviously, you know the way I want to take the whole Thargoid thing. Kick us out the galaxy, or kick us out the bubble anyway. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. So anyway, we're nearly there. So I'm going to make this one jump, and then I'm going to start navigating like a numpty. So just let me get my stuff on screen that I need to be looking at. So where everything is.
Stowing weapons.
Jump.
Engaging jump drive.
This is the right system. Pretty sure it is.
Missions.
What you doing? Scan the system.
Stand by. Scanning now. Compiling data. Cartography update complete.
Open system map.
System cartography.
So looking at 1B. Wait a minute, 1AB. That's it. Close system map.
Closing map.
no idea where the new INRA bases are so far. Something I would like to have a look at some point, but until I get some time to do some research, then I'm not going to work it out. I was lucky to get this information sort of straight away today without having to do a lot of looking around. It was pinged up on one of my notification things somewhere, if I remember right. Right, so I don't have a... so I'm just going to have to search for it myself, just well to note the coordinates. Now, I know we've not had any updates yet, but is it just me, or are the planets at the moment looking a little bit more detailed than they did? There's more contrast on that gas giant than I remember there being before as well. It actually looks like a gas giant now. But a lot of them all seem to be quite more surface. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It seems to be more of a noticeable difference between the low level and the high level. So you've got a gradient that goes from like snow-topped peaks, as it were, to your ordinary ground colour, which is quite interesting. Bit of a drop down again. And that is lovely. Texturing on that is beautiful. Which space? Thank you for the follow earlier, by the way, Sunny Boy. Or girl, or whatever. I don't know why I said I never say Sunny Boy. I can't pull off Sunny Boy. I do apologise. Thank you for the follow anyway. Yeah, I'm just trying to get the coordinates right. If I get the coordinates right, then I can just drop on it, hopefully. First.
Afterburners.
Lots of point of interest markers, so that's always a good sign. Boost. Boost.
Afterburners engaged.
Should have put music on before I started doing this, shouldn't I? Witness Selezen's concentrating face. Is that it?
Afterburners engaged.
That looks like it might be it. It is, that's it.
Okay.
A point of interest. That's the one. Well, here it is. A crash site. Deploy landing gear.
Deploying landing gear.
Lights.
Lights.
is it? There it is. Bits of ships strewn around. It's a Cobra, obviously. A blue Cobra Mark III that looks very, very different, actually. Oh wow, that is a really old design. Wow, we actually have an example of what an old design looks like. Wow.
Stellar cartography.
The classic design right here, people. What's the name on there? Oh, she's not going to let me get into it, is it? Sound there. Oh well, there it is. Jameson. As you can imagine, I'm going to take a few screenshots at this point in time. So that is very much an old design. So there's no, it's actually the classic shape. You've got the triangle bit at the back. You've got the single point spine. You've got a very much more apex-like triangle. That is very much a classic design Cobra. That is a very, very different design. I'm going to obviously try and get as close as that as I can. As close to that as I can. So this is the ship that belongs to the world, well, the galaxy famous Commander Jameson. Obviously a fairly severe crash. In terms of things like the lore, this is just orgasmic for me to find something like this. I mean, I knew what this was when I was coming towards it, but I had absolutely no idea that it was going to be a completely different ship model, and actually reflect the fact there's been 200 years of development of the Cobra design over the last 200 years. That is spectacular. Yeah, I've had a feeling there was beacons. I thought that's what the red things, the red flashy things are, is beacons. So I'll take a look at them in a second. I'm going to try and land, and then I'll do the SRV bit. It's a bit darker. I mean, that is a completely different back end design as well. Let's just get back on the ship. Let's. Whoa! Crap! 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 Okay, that's not very respectful, is it? Bifford. Hello there. Where's it gone? Is it right below me now? Yeah, it's completely below me now.
Exiting now.
No, it's definitely a Cobra 3. It says 3 on the front, Mark 3 on the front, so. So again, I mean, that is something that they've made that look so different to the Cobra Mark III that's in the current era, and kept it so accurate to what it looked like in the original game. That is amazing. I mean, that is a top-notch piece of design work. That is amazing, absolutely amazing. I may actually not move on from here. Thank you for the follow, whoever that was. Right, so shall we try and land? Let's make sure we do this right. Oh, Biff, thank you for the sub. You top-notch man, you. Goodness me. Yeah, no worries, dude. Look, car costs are one of those things that I can completely say, yeah, I understand. I have the sum total of 2 subscribers anyway, so that's no issue, my friend. Family stuff priority. So that's got me actually landed pretty close, isn't it? So let's dump the SRV.
Deploying SRV.
crash something. Got it. That's my leg. That's over there. There it is. So there it is. Lights. Target. Target.
Locking target.
Target. Target. No. Okay, I've a bloody scan this. Yeah, of course you can, dude. You should be, if you're not already asked in it, you should be thingy. Let me see if I've got any requests. If I have, then by all means, my group. No, yeah, there he is. Go for it, dude. I think that should be you in now if I'm looking at the right person there. Joy 12, that tells me nothing. It's one of these buttons. I thought you were as well, actually, but it may be because when I purged my group for Drew's Salome incident, I did a... If you joined it before that, then you may be now, so... Ooh, exciting, Biff. Deploy turret. Deploy turret.
Arming weapons.
So what's button 12 then? So we'll just guess at what button 12 might be. Let's try that one. No, that's reverse. Let's try... Nope, that's those things. Let's try that one. Nope. Let's try that one. Nope. 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 No. Nope. 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 Well, it's not like I change places while I'm offline, Biff. I'm always in the same place where I finished off. Where the hell's button 12 on my joystick? And where the hell is the button? Where the hell is the button for doing anything on this bloody machine? Am I missing a button? Tried all them, none of them. Tried all them, none of them. Tried all them, none of them. Tried all them. I need a map for this fucking joystick. Alright. Let's do this the hard way then. Do you know what? Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Who's the music you've got something to listen to rather than idiot trying to find these fucking controls? How embarrassing is this like? L2. I'm not on a bloody PlayStation. I'm on a Thrustmaster. I'm 1200. T12, T1600, whatever it's called, joystick. Master T1600 buttons. So it says it's that one. That one? No, that's the fucking cargo scoop. Button 12 is apparently the button that deploys the turret. Yeah, that's what the map's saying, but when I press it, it's giving me the cargo scoop. Oh no, wait a minute. Let's try this. Whee! There we go. Found it. Wait, now it's that. There we go. Now we're cooking. Target.
Lock target.
No! Stop shooting things! One of the Jameson's logs, eh? Hey! Who's that? Is that you, Garzini? Fucking better be Garzini. There's another one. Target. Target.
Target locked.
Ah! Hello, I assume Garzini. Deploy cargo scoop.
A cargo scoop deployed.
Is that broken? No, I can't set on it.
Super cruise drive disengaging.
Okay, now that I'm completely in his way. Mug! Well, it's been a while since I said that. I've not got log 2, that's a bit of a shitter. Alright, back over. Stop trolling Jeff's ship. And running into it. Retract cargo scoop.
Retracting cargo scoop.
Oh my god. inactive data point, so I've checked that one already.
Disengaging supercruise.
I never said anything, shut your face. There we go. That's the last one. Okay, I put the music off just now, let's have a listen to these logs.
Hey there, kiddo. Now, I know I said I'd be coming home soon, but they've asked me to do something important. And I couldn't say no. I wanted to be there, believe me, but sometimes you have to make sacrifices. And, well, this is one of those times. I don't know if that makes much sense to you, but maybe it will do when you're older. Anyway, I thought I'd send you this log. I know it's not the same as being there in person, but it's the best I can do. I'm sorry. I'm not really supposed to talk about my mission, but if I'm going to miss your birthday, the least I can do is give you a good story. Consider yourself sworn to secrecy, soldier, okay? I'm sitting in the cockpit waiting for the old clear. They want to tinker with her for a while first, but they don't seem to have done any harm. All systems online, everything's looking good. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't feeling just a little jittery. I've fought bugs before, sure, but never more than one at a time. Flying up to one of their high ships, well, that's a whole different story. Hell, I don't even know what I'm carrying. Classified, they said. All I know is it's designed to target the bug's hyperdrive so they won't be able to leave the system. Of course, if it doesn't work, I'm just kicking the hornet's nest. And that's why I've set my nav system to jump out as soon as I've deployed the payload. Can't be too careful. Wish me luck.
No Biff, it's a Cobra. I'll give you another look at it in a minute.
That was almost too easy. Thread my way past the perimeter, massive heat signature so I'd get close to the superstructure. I tell you, I've never seen a hive ship up close before. Doubt many people have. It was amazing, kiddo. Beautiful, really. Makes you realize just how smart they are, how advanced. I admit it. I hesitated for a moment before I hit the button. I had to remind myself it wasn't them I was attacking, just their technology. As if this microwave virus of theirs even works. Oh, man. I watched the payload rocket into the belly of their ship and stuck around just long enough to make sure it hit home. Then I punched the throttle. Whoa! Whew! I'm coming home, kiddo. I'm coming home. Supposed to target the hyperdrives. That's what they told me, just the hyperdrives, so we'd be safe again. So we could live without fear. Well, it did a hell of a lot more than that. There were sensors on the payload so I could monitor the reaction and make sure it activated properly. I'm staring at the data now. The weapon is lethal. They knew what it could do. They knew what it could do, and they used it anyway. How many have we killed? Thousands? Millions? God forgive us. Got myself a bit of a situation here, kiddo. My guess is that they installed a program in my ship and set it to trigger after I deployed the payload. All my systems are dead, the controls are out, can't even access the escape pod, and the ship is on a collision course. And there is nothing I can do about it. We need to inspect your ship, Commander! How did I fall for a ruse like that? Oh, God. Oh, I'm at least partly to blame. Gotten old, careless. I should have quit years ago. I guess I should have known they wouldn't be coming back. And the bugs are dangerous, no doubt about it. But, well, this is mass murder we're talking about. You can understand why they want to keep it a secret. I know some men wouldn't want to admit they've killed thousands of sentient beings. I guess the guys back at base think they're doing me a favor by burying me out here in the black. Personally, I'd rather people knew what happened. Even if I didn't come out of it looking too good. I don't have much time. There's a big old plan in my viewport, and it's getting bigger every second. People will talk about what I did after I'm gone, the missions I flew, the things I accomplished. There's something I want you to remember. No matter what they say, whatever garlands they hang on my name, whatever they write in my tombstone, you were my greatest achievement. I love you, son.
That's quite moving, actually. So, Commander Jameson. John Jameson. Not Peter Jameson, interestingly enough. So this is John Jameson. Is this... Where did the Peter Jameson come from? Was that from... that's original Elite, isn't it? What is he doing? Yeah, that's actually quite. I have to admit, you know, the story stuff they're doing is pretty damn good. Yeah, I did enjoy that. That's probably one of the most feels log entries they've done so far. So that the Jameson that we all know and love flew that. That's an elite Cobra. That's an elite era Cobra. I'll redock. And we'll take off and do another couple of pictures of the ship, because I forgot to take oh, I did do screenshots, didn't I? Wow, that was just... I am quite touched by that. It's like a voice from that era that I love about this game so much. Right, Biff, you wanted to have a look and see what this is? It's a Cobra. Not only is it a Cobra, it's an original era Cobra. The cockpit is very much part of the actual ship superstructure itself, and doesn't stand proud of the main body of the hull. So it's a Cowlin McGrath era hull. So the original Mark III Cobra, as you can see on the very hull itself, you can see the name Jameson at the front. See the name Jameson on the front panel as well as the ship's registration number, and Mark III on the side.
Select Wingman 3.
You also have, as you can see there, the cockpit, which might be interesting to actually see if we can take a look into. If I might fly
Awaiting
the
further
lights
instructions.
on there. So, as you can see, it's a very, very different design. None of the greeblies on the hull that you get with the normal one. So, yeah, as you can see, there's bits of hull everywhere. Scrapey marks of the ship's landing, which in a almost zero G environment, I'm quite surprised it's actually had such a grinding along the ground, because with that little incline there, I thought it would skip up quite a lot. I'm going to do that slow pan there. You know how I like doing the slow pan stuff. Let's do a slow pan from right close in. I did take a look briefly, but I didn't really do much with it. slow pan out for a bit. So John Jameson. Now we know that I'm going to make a bit of an assumption lore-wise here, in that from the timeline that we've been given, the original Elite era begins, or the original Elite time frame is 3120-ish, 3123, 3125. So that is a starting point for Peter Jameson, as far as I'm aware. But the interesting part of that would be Peter Jameson as a pilot essentially starts at that point in time. Now, one of the other logs that I've heard today describes Commander Jameson as being someone who reached elite in a remarkably fast amount of time. Does that refer to John Jameson, or does it refer to his son? Sorry. No, does it... The Commander Jameson that's... I'm getting myself a little bit confused. I'm trying to think and look at the pretties at the same time. Essentially, the Peter Jameson's supposed to be the pilot that you start off as in 3123. No, I'm actually thinking that John Jameson's the son. I'm thinking that Peter Jameson is the guy that you start off as playing. You play your game and do the things that you do, but you never actually get to the point of being in what you consider to be 3150. And the 3150 odds is when the war finishes and when INRA actually delivers its bomb. So I'm actually thinking that this ship did its job 25 years after the start of Elite, or when you initially boot up Elite. So I'm thinking that John Jameson could be Peter Jameson's son. Peter Jameson is you as a pilot. You don't really do this mission. John Jameson is your son, and he does the mission. He is therefore his son is therefore the grandfather of the pilot who starts in Frontier Elite 2. I'm not sure how it works. Or is Peter Jameson still that pilot? So you're not the pilot who got to Elite in a remarkably quick amount of time. Garzini, stop fucking about with the lighting. You're ruining my pan out. Yeah, so I'm starting to wonder where the timeline and where the family line goes on this. We've got Peter Jameson, John Jameson, and Peter Jameson Jr. No, Peter Jameson is who you play. Keep up. Peter Jameson is you as a pilot. Before you leave to go into space, technically, you have a son by the name of John. You go off and do your stuff. 25 years later, 20 odd years later, he becomes a pilot. Gets to Elite in a remarkably fast amount of time. Partially due to the Thargoid War itself helping John get to the point where he is and get to Elite remarkably quickly. And then he's tapped by INRA to do the job that no one else wants to do, and ends up in the grave that we see here. That's my theory on it. Peter is you, John is your son. John does the job for INRA. You do the job that you do as your pilot, as your commander in Elite. Okay.
Confirmed.
Disengaging cruise.
Raise landing gear.
Retracting landing gear.
So that, people, is Commander Jameson. What became of him? The person who delivered the mycoid virus to the Thargoids in 3152. Son, perhaps, of Peter Jameson. his body entombed forever in his ship. I'm going to see if I can get a look into the cockpit here. See in there, that window is completely opaque. So far, I thought that was it finished now. I thought that episode was the last one. So essentially, actually, is there something in there? Embedded in the surface. Damn, I'm actually too close. Okay, I may have to back off a little bit then. Let's do that. Make sure we got the lights on. Nope, nothing visible. Just the old seats. Grab a screenshot of that. Whoops, whoops. Is empty. Now, is that something they've deliberately done? Have they left it empty completely deliberately, or is there a reason for it being empty? Now, because I need to have a look around where that broken canister is, so here it is. Wow, that is corrupted to hell, that, isn't it? That's got stuff growing. Mushrooms. I have a funny feeling maybe I have some mycofungus growing there. Mycoproteins looking all up in this mess. Wet.
Permits.
Wet. Resolution there is just too low to read anything. There is a canister logo on there, like a danger sign. There's definitely a split canister of mycoid there, I think. And it has infected that entire area. So that is some powerful stuff. You can see from actually further up that there is definitely some kind of growth there. So that is definitely an active. That is most definitely. Thanks for the light there, Gurzini. I assume it's you. Thank you for the follow, whoever that is. I'll find out soon enough. So yeah, that's obviously a very, very actively grown area. So that is completely corrupted. No Thargoid would live there, I don't think. That's wow, that's concentrated goo. Yeah, so there you go. That's our that's Garzini. Let's have a look at Garzini. His little gold ship.
Affirmative, stand by.
It's a standard eagle, that is, I think. Hello. Hello, Garzini.
Coordinates confirmed. En route to landing zone, stand by.
Alright, that's enough of that. Okay, so we've seen pretty much all there is to see here, I think. Raise landing gear.
Gear coming up.
Raise landing gear.
Retracting docking modules.
Sad as boobs, isn't it? He's going to hit the ground, isn't he? Oh, that was close. Which button's got the external camera? I'm not actually sure. I think it's slash, backslash. Sorry, I marked mine to the backwards apostrophe. So we wave goodbye to the remains of Commander Jameson. Or are they his remains? Because that ship looks extremely empty.
Afterburners maxing engines.
So, what next? That's taken up a good hour. Good hour and a half, actually. Kellerot Gaming, thank you for the follow. That's who followed me a little while ago. Very much appreciated, sir. Thank you. Yep, you too, Garzini. Have a good one. Thank you for your assistance today and your company. It's been lovely having someone around. Why have I got an alarm going off? Jump.
Frameshift drive engaging.
I'll go back to a normal layout. Hello again. So, that was interesting. So the next thing we'll do is we'll go back onto the road to riches again. Go on what we're actually doing. Why have I got an alarm going off? Lights.
Lights.
mode there, I do apologise. So, shall we go back to the road to riches then? Open galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Oh, dear me. I did actually get lost in that moment there, I do apologise for that. Close galaxy map.
Closing map.
Jump.
Jumping.
Tablets to take. I do apologise, completely forgot my medication. Medication is what we need. Don't know, I'll forget to do it, and it's a bit late to take it now anyway, but I'm going to have to take it anyway.
Drive deactivated. Super Cruise drive disengaging. Disengaging cruise. Exiting now.
Jump.
Preparing for jump.
It's making up its own jump commands now. Oh, so I'm still quite lost in the narrative of that Jameson crash scene. That is a pretty good addition to the lore, I think. A pretty good addition to the environment of the game and the history of the game and all that. I'm quite looking forward to seeing where it goes. 8, 3, 4, and 5. Honestly don't know how long it was there before it was discovered. I think it was probably added at the same time as all the INRA bases were added, to be honest. Because it is discussed in one of the INRA missions. Excuse me a second. Phew. Base 10, I think it is, discusses the other side of that mission. In fact, you know what? That's actually kind of worth chucking on screen. Again, thanks to Malik for this. But this is a recording from In Recite 10 from Malik's, from one of Malik's streams. I'll just see if this works.
I'll admit, I had my reservations about this Commander Jameson. I looked into his background and apparently he climbed the ranks of the Pilots Federation with unprecedented speed. He's revered by other pilots. But that doesn't mean he's suited to the task. But then, it struck me. All we need is someone who can get the payload where it needs to go. The hard work, the development of the mycoid, has already been done. All Jameson has to do is push a button. The important thing is to play up the whole saving humanity angle. Make him feel like a hero. That should stop him asking too many questions. And if everything goes wrong, we can just pin the blame on him. Having received the payload from the Alnath system, we've prepared a number of medium-range missiles loaded with the weaponized version of the mycoid. Jameson will be here in 3 days to prep for the mission, which should give us more than enough time to fit his vessel. Apparently, he insisted on using his own ship. I've also ordered that some special modifications be made to his craft. He'll have to get close to launch the missiles, so it's unlikely he'll be coming back. But if he does survive, there are contingencies in place. Welcome, Commander Jameson. Your reputation precedes you. We are extremely grateful you chose to accept this mission. I understand that the purpose of the assignment has been explained to you, but allow me to reiterate. This mission, if executed successfully, could mean the end of our war with the Thargoids. Its importance cannot be overstated. The consignment has been loaded onto your ship. We have made some minor modifications to your vessel, but it should not affect the performance or functionality in any way. This is an extremely dangerous mission, Commander. You will be heading deep into enemy territory. If anything goes wrong, you're on your own. Good luck, Commander. The future of the human race is in your hands. All our hopes and prayers go with you.
Yeah, wow. So that's it. Yes, I'm sorry. If I misunderstood Garzini's question there about how long it was there, I thought he meant in game. I thought essentially when was it added to the game, not when was it actually there. Well, yes, which base is quite frankly right there. It's the INRA mission to destroy the Thargoids has been put at roughly 3152. So in game terms, that is 152 years ago potentially. So yeah, it was a fair amount of time ago. No, that's this isn't the place we've just been. Isn't that far away from the core, is it? Plus which his ship was scuttled on his way back, so it wasn't. Actually, that might be an interesting one to look at. Open galaxy map. Open galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Right, so we're currently here. Right, the planet we came from is about there. So let's say we're about 20 light years away from where it should be anyway. So this is obviously on the way back. Now, if we look at where the core is there. So the core is about here. There's Achenar, there's Sol. Now we're talking about we're looking at Galcop space, Galcop space is roughly where? Where's Leave? So let's just make a rough guess. So we're here. This is Sol, so we're obviously off out in this direction. Pleiades has been roughly stated as where the main front line and the main sort of staging post for Thargoid incursions was. So we're roughly in the area where the Thargoid incursions were. So we're probably looking at roughly there. So I don't know. Was he sent further out? Was he sent much further out than what the front lines were? Was he sent behind enemy lines to find this so-called hive ship? Now this is the thing, the hive ship is something we've not heard of. We have the Thargoid basic ships. We've not heard of anything called a hive ship as of yet, I don't think. So how far out beyond this point did Jameson actually go? Let's say we're in Aries, we're in the Pleiades. So we're looking at the Pleiades Nebula potentially, I would say. This is where we're currently at, this is where he's roughly crashed. And I think he was coming back from here. So he was on a beeline back. Now remember that Jameson canonically, if canon hasn't changed, is from the Galcop region. He was a member of Galcop. We started the game off playing as Galcop.
Afterburners.
So I think, yeah, I very much think that we're potentially looking at somewhere. I think the Pleiades Nebula is where everything is kicking off, or was kicking off. That's the California Nebula, you stupid bugger. There's the Pleiades Nebula. So I think we were on a beeline from there back to the Galcop region, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, that was about the halfway point. So that's the middle of nowhere over there. So that's about 3,000 light years, which you've got to remember in those days was the hive ship in witch space. I don't think so. This is a thing that a lot of people keep saying, is that where the Thargoids are actually in witch space. Witch space is hyperspace.
Unable to comply.
Interesting, witch space. No, as I say, Garcini, witch space is another name for hyperspace. Witch space is not a different region or a different area. It's just hyperspace. Do the Thargoids hang around in hyperspace? I don't think they do. I don't think they live in hyperspace as such. They live in real space with the rest of us. The potential is that their ships can loiter in hyperspace. They can remain in hyperspace longer than we can. We just transit through it. But they perhaps have the ability for their ships to loiter there longer and actually hang around. Much the way that Babylon 5's hyperspace technology works, where you can remain within the hyperspace realm and you can navigate through it. I think that's probably the biggest difference between our technology and Thargoid technology, is that Thargoid technology allows you to actually manually fly the ship through the hyperspace realm, or through witch space. And that's why we have these encounters. No, that's not the thing. What happened was, it was quite ambiguous, because you were in hyperspace and you were pulled out of hyperspace. You were pulled out of witch space into the interstellar realm, into the interstellar void. So you were basically pulled out into an area with no stars. That doesn't seem to be what the references to witch space refer to. Witch space and hyperspace were interchangeable concepts. But I don't know. I mean, to be fair, that might be my misinterpretation of the concept. If witch space is something different, if witch space is that black area, so be it, fair enough. I'm quite willing to be corrected on that one. But the way I've always picked it up or interpreted it, and can't remember having anything that's kind of contradicted that concept, is that hyperspace equals witch space equals hyperspace. And the Thargoids drag you out of there into the interstellar place where there's no... you're not within a stellar region that you can recognise. And the way that the game represented it at that point, because of lack of technology, was to just make everything black. I think perhaps because one of the things they were trying to do is obviously create these encounters where there was Thargoid ships, which were obviously being rendered the same way, and the Thargons potentially could come out and do nasty things to you. And rendering the stars possibly at that point in time was maybe a little bit too much, plus giving you that sense of danger. And of course it makes it look creepy. But that was my way in my head of justifying it, and that was the way that I've kind of rationalised it in my own head as far as that's what it was. But as I say, the documentation from the time, like the manual and the graphic novel, seemed to indicate, and again correct me if I'm wrong, it may be my interpretation, but they seem to indicate that hyperspace and witch space are alternate terms for the same thing. So that's where I'm coming from. Not saying you're wrong, but you're wrong. Jump.
Jumping.
Suspicions they can perform actions in hyperspace will be effectively inhibited while travelling. Yeah, that's exactly it, yeah. They have the ability to navigate through hyperspace like Babylon 5 ships, whereas we're kind of locked in there. Just travelling through a tunnel, basically. So yeah, I mean that's it. I think the Pleiades have a lot of secrets. I think the Pleiades are, if not where Thargoids actually come from, it's where their staging point or colonies in this area of the galaxy reside. Could be. Could be. That's a very good idea. One of the in-roll logs kind of points at the differences between the different technologies. I'm going to put another sound file on, so bear with us.
They told me not to ask where it came from, just to reverse engineer whatever I can. Weapons, shields, power management, anything I can figure out. It's like giving a rocket to a Neanderthal and expecting them to fix it. I mean, where do I even start? At least they're paying me well. That's something. I haven't slept for days. I always did find it hard to switch off, you know? Even when I wasn't trying to reverse engineer an alien starship. I've made a small amount of progress, but it's always 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. The guys in charge are getting impatient, but what did they expect? It's not like this thing came with a manual. I finally made some progress with the drive technology, which is just as well, since I was running out of options. Thargoid drive tech differs radically from our own. Rather than shift space around the ship, it appears to create this stable wormhole for the ship to travel through. It sounds crazy, but the maths don't lie. And if my calculations are right, I might even be able to replicate it. I want to get a prototype up and running as soon as possible. Something tells me the bigwigs are about to step in.
Thargoid technology has a wormhole through space, whereas the technology that we used, or we use, don't know if we still do or not, folds space basically, or moves space around the ship. So that's the differences between Thargoid technology and our technology, which seems to be kind of contraindicative to what it actually does. Because the Thargoid witch space hovering, loitering around ability would seem to indicate more that they don't have a tunnel, that they can, or that they have a tunnel but they can't break out of that tunnel, or that all they have is an entry and exit tunnel whereas they actually travel through a motile realm. Does make it sound a little bit more restrictive. So there are different things. But yeah, so I do think that your idea there about it being another dimension is spot on. I've always described it as being the onion theory, so that within our realm is at a certain level within the entire hyperspace or entire multiverse region. So you have our level of space, which is like a sphere, and it takes a certain amount of time to travel around that sphere. If we can penetrate through that layer, I'll find something I can use to illustrate this. The lid off my cotton rods will do. So you've got, hang on, let's just muddle around for a sec. So, right, there you are. Let's have that one on. So, we have that. So we travel around here, right? In order for us to get around the galaxy, we have to travel around that distance. In order to get from here to here, you could always take a shortcut, which takes you through the middle. So it would go from there to there. So there you go, like that. So that's a quicker route than it is going around there. Like any particular maths you'll see, your arc distance is greater than your straight line distance. So this, if I remember rightly, this is called versine. Used to do this in railway engineering as well. But your versine is your quickest route. So you take the quickest route between the 2 points, your versine, which is across there. The deeper you go, obviously, the quicker you can travel. So you can go that way. So getting to points on the opposite end of the galaxy. So you're saying travel from one end of the galaxy to the other, rather than going the long way around, which takes you twice as long. You just go whoop, straight there, which is what your stuff does. Which is what the Thargoid wormhole technology does. Open system map. Open system map. That's your different dimensions. You're punching through the lower dimensions, or the, depends on what you want to look at it. The lower dimensions if you look at the sphere mode, the higher dimensions if you want to look at it as the alternate dimensions. Like your third dimension is your 3 dimensions, and then your upper dimensions are 4, 5, 6, whatever. Ooh, the way I look at it is, you're deeper inside the onion. Inner dimensions. That'll do. Inner dimensions, something like that. I have no idea, Garzini, because I don't know what the brain theory is. Is it the stuff that comes from my brain? Anyway, next plan. Open system map.
System map.
Oh, you've woken up again, well done. Lower system map.
Closing map.
time are we on now? Are we looking towards the end of the stream now? Yes, we are. We're at 22:01, so we are looking towards the end of the stream now. Yeah, I'm going to call it a night, potentially. The universe in a nutshell. Correct. Open system map.
System cartography.
Yeah, we've got a landable planet here. Closed system map.
Closing map.
I'm going to scan this planet and then I'm going to go and land on the A1. Or 1A. 1A? Yeah, 1A. Then call it a night for this evening and then I'll huddle us off onto someone else's stream to watch for a bit. But just as a quick aside, what I'm going to try and do this weekend, I am very conscious of the fact that this computer makes a hell of a lot of noise when I'm streaming, and it is what's causing a lot of the background noise coming from the... Damn it, I've looked ashamed it. I thought I had that. Loop of shame! But yeah, I'm going to try and get on top of that this week. Hoping that this weekend I'm going to get a chance to do it. What I have done is I've tried to stock myself up with a bunch of cables, extension cables for the computer, sorry. And I'm going to swap around a bookcase in the hallway outside the office with the computer. So the potential would be then open system map.
System map.
The computer would sit just outside the room. I'll drill a hole in the wall for the cables to go through. Will you please click close system map?
Closing map.
And then hopefully we'd have a wall between us and the racket that is my gaming computer until I can sort out something that's going to make it quiet down a little. Now I have got a microphone shield on the microphone at the moment, but it doesn't seem to be making a lot of difference. Now the issue is that obviously the computer is kind of there, right next to me. It used to be under the desk. Now this is where a lot of the noise pollution is coming from. Is when it was under the desk, it wasn't quite as noisy because the desk baffled some of the noise, whereas now it's sitting at the side of the desk, and therefore it makes more noise because it's more out in the open and closer to where I'm actually sitting. About half the distance away than it used to be honest. So it's not a big surprise that there's a lot of noise. And I've got to the point of thinking it is a bit too loud. Even for me just to work in this room and do stuff in this room, it is loud as hell. If I'm doing anything, whether it's video editing, running a virtual machine, running a game, running an application, whatever, any sort of graphic design stuff, it does tend to hammer it a bit. And I'm getting a bit worried because it seems to be hammering it a lot more than I think it should. So I don't know whether it's needing to be cleaned out a little bit, or whether there's a lot of processes needing cleared out, or if it's just dirt and blockage. I mean, I do hoover the thing out on a regular basis, but I need to get on top of this noise pollution thing. It's always run loud when it's been playing a game, but it's never been an issue up until the point where I moved it. So, as I say, the plan is drill a hole through the wall, just down there, and move the computer out into the hallway, move all the cables into the wall and out of a junction box, and then trunk them to the wall, run the cables under the desk, and then go from there. The hope is that everyone else will get the noise pollution. The added bonus of that is that the Wi-Fi aerial and the Wi-Fi receiver on the PC will be a lot closer and without any interruption to the Wi-Fi transmitter on the router, which will be literally just downstairs. So it'll be literally 4 or 5 meters away from the actual Wi-Fi source, which hopefully should be much more connective. I'm going to aim for that. for a crater right on the edge of the Terminator there. I'm going to go for that. So yeah, I have one HDMI extension cable, 3 USB 3 extension cables. I have an audio extension cable in order for the microphone, and a couple of USB hubs ready to go. It also means that I can connect up some of the USB devices that currently sit in my office onto that as well, free up some space on the desk, and free up some space on USB cables as well. That's dark. Stunningly dark. Thank you for the follow, Honey Thief! Honey Thief! It's been so long. This is exceedingly dark in here. I don't think I want to drop in there actually, it's a bit too dark. Boost.
Afterburners.
SATA DVD drive. I don't know if you get SATA DVD drives. I mean, it's just a connector style, isn't it? Yeah, it makes sense. Boost.
Afterburners maxing engines.
Lights.
Lights.
Oh, bollocks to it. Boost.
Afterburners engaged.
I'm also hoping it's going to go somewhere towards cleaning up the cable mess that's in this room. I'm also going to hope that the external hard drives that I've got, the powered external ones rather than the portable external ones, are going to fit nicely on top of the machine while it's in the hallway. I'm hoping that there's going to be at least a decent amount of space there on top of the PC to put a lot of the peripherals that go with it, and just run the cables through into the extensions into the main room. And that should hopefully be a lot nicer and a lot more easy to manage than things currently are. This office is a tiny little office and there's so much crap in it and so much technology in it, it's ridiculous. Boost.
Afterburners engaged.
Boost.
Afterburners maxing engines.
Very dark.
Ending playback.
Boost.
Afterburners.
Boost.
Afterburners engaged.
boost.
Afterburners.
Deploy landing gear.
Landing modules deployed.
Black as night, I do you. I was starting to wonder. Bottomless pit indeed. Lights. Lights. Lights.
Lights.
So, that's it for another evening. We are docked for another night. Yeah, and the heat pumping off this machine is ridiculous. That's why I bake. No idea, Biff, and I ain't gonna try. So I shall leave you for this evening. I hope you've enjoyed this. We've had a little bit of a look at some of the history of the Elite Universe inadvertently. And we've found the Jameson, the man himself. And a bit of a look at some of the Inra stuff as well. So I hope you've had a good time. I hope you've had a fun evening. Hope I have kept you entertained. I will be back at the usual time next Monday for another Dangerous Monday, hopefully, without anything going wrong. If I don't manage to screw the computer up by trying to move it. Keep an eye on Twitter, HD Selezen, and Facebook, Daftworks UK or Selezen Lake, in order to see any other streams that are going to be coming up inadvertently during the week. I have some other games that I want to have a look at playing, as well as continuing some of the stuff that I've been doing with Lego Batman, and hopefully Bioshock at some point. I've not got back to that for a while, but I shall get back to those at some point. I am planning to do some streams at some point, but obviously with RPG work and investigations going on, it is getting increasingly difficult to find spare time to do that kind of stuff. But we will prevail. But cheers for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. Those who've followed me this evening, thank you very much for your follows. I hope you come back. I hope you've enjoyed yourself, and I hope we can do something again in the future. I'm also hoping that we can pop on to watch someone else who may be streaming at the moment. So let's have a quick look at the list of people that are online. I'll just mute all this gubbins. At the moment we have Bifford, DJ, Ken Majar, Percat259, Starfleet Comms are all online. Are they actually streaming? No, we have DJ Knight, DJ Truthsayer. So what I'm going to say for the moment is let's all pop on to DJ Truthsayer. Now there is a raid command on. I wonder how that works. Let's go to the dashboard. Right, I'm going to try that. So copy. Boop, boop, boop. So I'm going to call it a night this evening, people. Thank you very much. Fly safe, and I hope you have a lovely evening. Take care. Have a good one.